When an avoidant stares at you, watches you from across a room, checks your online status, looks at your stories the second you post them, hovers over your profile, or quietly keeps track of your life but still doesn't move closer, it creates a kind of emotional confusion that sinks deep into your chest. You can feel their attention. You can feel their eyes on you. You can feel that something in them is pulled toward you, even if they never say a word. And yet, their behavior doesn't match the intensity of the way they look at you. They act like a stranger, but stare like someone who knows your soul. They watch you like they're invested, but behave like they're indifferent. They pay attention to every detail without ever giving you the one thing you want: closeness. It feels like mixed signals. It feels maddening. It feels unfair. But in the world of avoidant attachment, this isn't mixed signals. This is emotional survival. Avoidants stare because looking is safe. Watching is safe. Observing is safe. Wanting you silently is safe. But approaching you, reaching out, saying something real, that feels dangerous. Not because you're dangerous, but because caring about you exposes a part of themselves they've been taught to protect at all costs. Avoidants were raised in emotional environments where vulnerability was either ignored, punished, or left unmet. They learned early that showing need is shameful, that wanting closeness leads to disappointment, that depending on someone only ends in pain. So even as adults, they experience desire as threat. They feel attraction as pressure. They feel longing as losing control. And when an avoidant feels something big, they panic inside. Their body registers love like danger. Their heart feels tenderness like a trap. Their mind turns connection into a warning sign. That's why they stare. They look when they feel something strong, but don't know how to act on it. Their eyes tell the truth, their mouth is terrified to speak. They watch you because they miss you. They check on you because they care. They read everything you post because you matter. They linger on your name because they're drawn to you. But they keep their distance because closeness feels like stepping into a fire they're not sure they can survive. Avoidants do not approach when they feel deeply. They retreat. They don't reach for the person they want most. They freeze. They don't step forward when their heart wakes up. They wait for the feeling to calm down. They want you, quietly, secretly, internally, in ways they'll never admit. They look at you like you're the one person who could break them open. And that's exactly why they stay silent. When they stare at you with that intensity, like they're memorizing you, like they're fighting something inside themselves, it's because they're experiencing a war between desire and fear. Desire pulls them toward you. Fear pushes them away. Desire says, go to them. Fear says, stay safe. Desire says, you care. Fear says, don't show it. Desire says, you miss them. Fear says, if they know, they'll leave you. Avoidants are terrified of two things: being abandoned and being trapped. When they get close, they fear losing themselves or losing you. So staring becomes the only place where both parts can exist: the part that wants you and the part that's terrified of wanting you. That's why avoidants stare with such intensity. That's why they notice everything. That's why their eyes soften when they see you, but their feet never move. They're trying to have you without risking you. They want connection without vulnerability. They want closeness without exposure. They want to feel something without being accountable for that feeling. Watching from a distance lets them keep you in their emotional world without threatening the defenses that keep them feeling safe. And here's something most people never realize. Avoidants don't stare because they're trying to play with your head. They stare because something about you awakens a softness they don't know how to handle. You remind them of a version of themselves they long for, but don't trust. They see something safe in you, but they don't know how to enter it. You feel like home, but home is the place where they learn to suppress their needs. You feel like comfort, but comfort feels dangerous when your whole life taught you not to need anyone. So they stay in the middle, half in, half out. Close enough to feel you, far enough not to be changed by you. When an avoidant watches you online, it's not accidental. When they check your stories, it's intentional. When they hover over your name, it's impulse. When they view everything you post, it's longing. When they replay your videos, it's missing you. But they won't message you, not because they don't want to, but because messaging you means stepping into vulnerability. Messaging you means risking rejection. Messaging you means admitting they care. Messaging you means being seen. And being seen is the one thing avoidants fear the most. Their silence is not emotional emptiness. Their stillness is not lack of thought. Their distance is not lack of feeling. It's fear. It's overwhelm. It's emotional flooding. It's their nervous system shutting down when the intensity becomes too much. Avoidants often feel the most right before they disappear. They care the most right before they go silent. They miss you the most right when they pull back. They stare the most right when they feel the closest to you. But they come forward the least in these moments because the emotions are too strong for them to manage. You think staring means they're teasing you. You think watching means they're playing games. You think silence means they don't care. But to an avoidant, staring is caring. Checking on you is caring. Watching your life is caring. Silence is their version of self-protection. They love in ways that keep them safe. They care in ways that don't expose them. They show affection in the shadows, not the light. And even though it hurts, even though it feels like a half-love, even though it leaves you confused and aching, it is the only way they know how to love until they heal. But here's the part you must never forget. You deserve more than someone who only loves you with their eyes. You deserve someone who approaches, someone who speaks, someone who shows up, someone who chooses closeness over fear, someone who steps into your life instead of watching from the edges of it. Their stare may mean something, but it is not the same as effort. It is not the same as communication. It is not the same as choosing you. And if an avoidant cannot close the distance, you are allowed to step away from the place where they keep you waiting. You are allowed to walk towards someone who doesn't need distance to feel safe. Someone who doesn't freeze when they care. Someone who doesn't idolize you silently, but love you openly. Someone who replaces staring with staying. And if this touched something quiet inside you, you can stay here for a while. There are more stories, more truths, more soft nights like this. Welcome to Attachment Alchemy Lab. You're safe here.